from a place called Niranam, which is close to Tiruvalla. I did my initial schooling about 3 years in Bombay, where my parents were. And subsequently, once my parents shifted to Kerala, I studied in a couple of boarding schools till I reached Sacred Hearts in class 6th. I joined Sacred Hearts and completed my 10th there. The schooling experience in Sacred Hearts was great in the sense that I had already a lot of friends who had studied with me earlier in my previous schools studying there. So it was very smooth induction. But the most important part was that I joined the boarding school. About 100 boys were there. And it was a great experience. Sacred Hearts was known for its academics those days because they used to get excellent results in the 10th standard SSLC exams, which were one of the benchmarks for a good school in those days. It was amazing to join the boarding school, being there 24/7 inside a small campus. It was as if we guys owned that place. That was wonderful, and we had some great characters in the boarding school. I will not name any of them, but they were there from my batch, my seniors and my juniors, and we used to get along very well. The regiment was highly regimentalized and strict. Everything controlled by Father O.J. Varghese and Joseph Kandathil sir. Every action of ours was determined by one bell, which used to tell us when to get up, when to take bath, when to study, when to play, when to eat, when to sleep, and everything like that. So that bell was something which is unforgettable. As far as the stay there is concerned, it was something which I learnt, I cherished throughout my life, that this was what taught me how to live a life, how to survive in an environment where you are not mollycoddled or looked after by your parents, etc. The regimen which we follow now, I feel that we had a very balanced routine. We used to get up at 5:30, finish all the morning chores and get into the study room at 6 o'clock, and then everything followed, then subsequently the classes, and then off to bed at 10:30 sharp. In between we had time to play, we had time to chat, do all sort of things in between, though everything was under the strict eyes of Father O.J. Varghese and Kandathil sir. Friday evenings, if I remember clearly, was one of our highlights, where we used to be served chapati for dinner. Those days in Kerala, chapati was not very common. If you ask your parents, you can probably make out those differences in dietary habits. So the time which I spent there was amazing. We could learn from each other. From the school, I secured good marks, and then subsequently moved on to SB College, Changanasheri, for my pre-degree. But leaving Sacred Hearts after 10th was indeed heartbreaking, and the time which I spent there was really memorable. In pre-degree, I applied in SB College for maths as the main subject, with physics and chemistry. I remember there was sort of an interview there. When I came, I remember the principal asking me, when I told my name, Alex, he said there was somebody who was very famous called with the same name. I said it was Alexander the Great. A lot of my classmates from SH Sacred Hearts, and we had good company. It was all studies, but during that 2 years, we were the first batch, incidentally, of Mahatma Gandhi University pre-degree batch. The Mahatma Gandhi University Kottayam had just started. We were the first batch. I had a bit of a slump during that period in my academic standards. I dropped a step or so. But somehow I survived and got through the Kerala engineering entrance. That was not so easy. And then the total number of seats in Kerala were barely 2,000, out of which around 700, I think, were reserved seats. So squeaking through was of course God's grace. And then I joined MA College of Engineering, Kodamangalam, in Mahatma Gandhi University for my BTech in electrical engineering. I joined the engineering college for electrical engineering, and it was another wonderful years of college life. Met a lot of great friends there, living in the hostel environment and also in the somewhere outside. It was a wonderful stay there. It was a long stay in my life. There are many things which I learned there. There are two things which distinctly stand out, which I remember from my final year of engineering. One of them was that me and one of my batchmates, who was from Kottayam, we appeared for selection for an event which was a sports quiz competition. It was a selection for MG University team, and we qualified and we were selected as the team to represent Mahatma Gandhi University in a sports quiz competition held by Doordarshan Trivandrum. That program was a 10 episode program which was telecast prime time at 8 p.m. on Friday evenings. We went for the recording there in Trivandrum. This was in 1989. The only channel available was called Doordarshan, and it was a memorable experience for us. First time into a place where we get do makeup and then into the studio. We appeared in 5 episodes of that particular sports quiz competition. The second thing the most memorable was me getting selected for the Indian Air Force. I applied for the aeronautical engineering branch. That was what I was qualified for. So in the final year we could apply for that, and then I didn't have any prior experience. See, my only knowledge about the selection and interview process was from my roommate in hostel. He was from Changnashiri, but he was a Sainik School product, so he had appeared in some interviews earlier. So I just took that and appeared and got selected. It was again tough because the rejection rates are very, very high. After finishing my engineering, even without waiting for the results, because there was a provision of giving these results directly, confidentially from the university to the Indian Air Force. So training was in Bangalore, which was a long period of training, 1.5 years. It was very tough. All of us were graduate engineers in my batch, but many of them did not, they quit in the first session itself within a few days. Those who succeeded in completing the training, they endured through, and many of them are still in service, and they made great friends for me throughout my life. After the training, I was trained in the surface-to-air missile systems, where I had several postings, and very memorable postings, because the living conditions and the working conditions were very tough, in the sense that we had to stay in tents in field areas, survive in those tents. But then that also brought in a lot of camaraderie amongst not only me and the other officers, but also the airmen, the Jawans who were working with me. We had to stay in a closed environment in tents. And the most memorable event of those tenures was that I got to fire a live surface-to-air missile onto a moving target during night, and hitting the target gave a lot of satisfaction. It was something which was something which I can never forget. Then subsequently I converted to the aircraft stream, and I had successful tenures in the aircraft stream, the Russian aircrafts, and also in various parts of the country, whether it is north, south, east or west, and got to visit all these places and work with excellent professionals who were well trained, who worked towards a cause, and everything was oriented towards defending our nation and keeping our Air Force going. Well, I got married to Sujata in 1996. But then in service, we say that your first marriage is to the organization which you joined in the armed forces. So I was first married to the Indian Air Force, and then subsequently to Sujata. We have got a son who is completed his engineering, and he is working with the IT firm Accenture for the last 2 years plus. He is also staying with us in Bangalore, where I have taken voluntary retirement and have settled down. With all your prayers and blessings, I am sure we can continue to lead a happy retired life. Okay, well, since I was in the boarding school from a young age, the people who influenced me mostly were from the schools which I studied. I can start from junior schools, but then coming to Sacred Hearts, I would say Father O.J. Verghese and Joseph Kandathil sir, they influenced me a lot. They were very strict and uncompromising with what we had to do. And corporal punishment was not unusual those days. But then, when I look back, I feel that everything what they did was oriented towards making us better and successful individuals. In that way, they also had to meet the expectations of our parents who were spending a lot of money, and they had put us in their care. So they had to meet the expectations of our parents as well. So they played a huge influential part. There were many other teachers whom I can recollect from our school. Coming to my pre-degree, there were many professors. We were very fortunate to have experienced professors with 30 years plus of service, and who were teaching postgraduate students, taking classes for us when we were in 11th and 12th. And going to the engineering college, there were very remarkable faculty of eminent professors, and they all played their part in making us good professionals. In my service life, I had a lot of seniors and peers who taught me valuable lessons, not by teaching or by preaching, but by just showing how they would go about things. So it was a big learning experience. I had to learn it myself from those people. Coming to my parents, they never told me what to do and what not to do. They just showed it from their own life, and I still continue to learn from them. They are very much there in my house, and I continue to learn from them. I just observed and learned how they go about it.